I'm going to show you some really great ways to make some very interesting layered composited video, which you're going to want to do when you make your title sequences in the next assignment. So I have some footage here, and you can see if I roll over this one, I have video on track 1 and track 2, and let me just move this up so we can see it a little bit better. And we can't see what's on video track 1 because 2's in the way, so let's just turn that off. And you can see after I turn that off, there's a little boy right here in this first set of clips, and then there's our little unicorn girl on the other set. And then down here we can only see we can see a couple walking holding hands. All right, so we're going to start with the first one, and we're going to use blending modes to affect how these two clips are composited together. I'm going to turn that back on, and I'm going to double click the top clip, which is the bubbles, and go to effects control, and under opacity we have blending modes. Now these are very similar to the blending modes you would find in Photoshop and InDesign and some other applications from Adobe and other makers. What these do is they change the clip so that there's some opacity, but not it's not complete opacity, right? Plus it affects different things. So if you click on here, the default is normal. Dissolve does a little bit, but really I want to talk about all the rest of the sections. And you can see they're divided up. So the first section are blending modes that make things darker. The second one are blending modes that make things lighter. The third one is also lightens things because really based on light. And this one right here does some interesting things. I can't even describe it. And then these have to do with color. And so the best way to see what each of these does is just try them. So for this first one, I think what we're going to do is let's try applying, let's try overlay. And overlay, what it does is it picks up some of the highlights in both video and overlays them. And you can see it's pretty cool. We see the bubbles, but it's kind of harsh. He's kind of harsh. So instead of that, let's change it to a different lighting and do soft light. And oh, much better. Now we can see him, and now you can see the bubbles are quite as strong. So there's different things you can do. You know, if you lower the opacity, the effect is less. You could try other things if you want. So let's do like a vivid light. That's too much, right? But we can see the bubbles pretty good when we do that. And then, you know, you could just play around with these. Multiply usually makes it darker. That's not bad because you can see the bubbles now. All right, so that one's that one. This one, what we have on the top is actually some animation. Let's see what we have here. So we have animation, and if we go to the effects, it looks okay, but then as soon as this fades in, this animation clip fades in, we lose the little girl. What we want it to do is we want it to fade in and then her to fade out, and then it just be the animation. But we need to fix that animated clip so that we can see through it. So we're going to use again a blending mode, and for this one let's try lighten and see what happens. Whoops, I gotta put it right in the between there so we can see it. Okay, there we go. So now we can see the bubbles coming in, the fake ones, the animated ones. It's pretty cool. They're good. It's okay. But my advice is to just try different ones until you find one that really looks the way you want. I'm going to use this color dodge. I think what it does is, you can see it brightens everything up and takes that blue out and makes them very white, so it's pretty cool. And these bubbles, the natural bubbles, the real bubbles, are coming up this way, but these are kind of coming up a different way. So I'm actually going to rotate that animated one just a little bit, and then I'm going to make it really big so it overlaps. And now let's see it. It looks more natural. The bubbles are coming from the same direction, and then we get to just the regular bubbles. So that's another way that you can use blending modes. Now, for what you're doing for the title sequence, you might want to layer a lot of things over each other, and I'm going to put in some examples in the module so you can see what I'm talking about, and some examples. I said that already, but here I just wanted to show you. I have two clips here. One is just some waves, and the other one, let me hide this, is a couple holding hands and walking in slow-mo. All right, I just want to make sure while we're here that this, okay, it is okay. I thought it might be bigger, but it's not. I'm going to make that more visible again and double click in so it comes up here. Go to the effects controls, and under opacity we can start messing around. So I like to literally just go through each one and see what it does. That's kind of interesting, right? We can see in some of the areas the water behind. We can do multiply. So all of these will do something different. I'm not sure why it's not playing now. There we go. I lost it on over here. Okay, not loving that. Let's try color burn. This color burn's like probably one of the more drastic effects, but it's still kind of cool. Let's see. Linear burn will do something. So they'll remember these are the darkened ones. And that may not be what we want. This is actually, whoops, that one was pretty cool. Whoops, I went back to normal. And yeah, so that's kind of cool. But we can also go to these lightened ones. And this is a good effect too. This might be what you want as well. Let's go down to difference. The more extreme ones are those ones on the bottom, remember. So that's kind of, if you're trying to do something that's really it's intense. Maybe it's about people cheating on each other, or murder, or whatever, war. That might be a cool one. Exclusion, sort of just opposite. It's really soft and kind of ghosty. It's almost a negative look. Subtract, very dark, but you can see a lot of the imagery. And again, really the way to learn what looks good is to mess around with these. So I also wanted to switch these around, so I'm going to switch these around. Oops, maybe I am. And I'm going to turn off the effects on this one, on the one we just did. So let's just turn that off so the effect isn't on it anymore. And then let's do the same thing with this. Let's do some things here. So this, now that the people are on top and the water's underneath, that will have different effects. It will look a little bit different each time, right? It's just close to the same, but it's not exactly the same. Yeah, so that's the best way to do that. And as you're looking at the examples that I will provide of great introductions, and then I'll show you a couple of students submissions from past semesters to give you good ideas as to what we're looking for. And using these blend modes, using the chroma keying, all of these things and the masking, all of these things will help you create a masterpiece, really, for your title for this assignment.